Less visiting dignitary attending a summit. More court of King Donald gracing a grateful alliance with his presence. Turkey put out the bling. President Trump showed his appreciation, announcing he would lift US sanctions on Turkey for buying Russian missiles and is open to selling them billions of dollars of fighter jets. For NATO, though, the near 8-decade-old alliance his nation is a cornerstone of, the tongue-lashing they feared.
We helped them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down, and Germany turned us down, and France turned us down. And it's okay. But, you know, why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
His core message has never changed. The US is being taken advantage of. Europe needs to step up and defend itself. Last year, NATO allies, including the UK, agreed to raise their defence spending to 5% of GDP by 2035, 3.5% of which must be on core military spending. Last year, the UK spent 2.3%. Keir Starmer says his defence investment plan will boost that to 2.7% by 2029. But he hasn't explained how the government will get to 3.5% in the next 9 years. For European nations, it isn't just about spending more on defence, but shouting about it from the rooftops and making sure that message is heard on the other side of the Atlantic.
To meet the challenge, we need a transatlantic defence industrial revolution. The hum of machinery must become a roar. Now, that sounds dramatic, but it can be done.
This is a shorter summit. Leaders walking on eggshells, hoping for minimal opportunities for falling out with the US and maximum pledges of support for Ukraine. The most urgent priority? Air defence systems. 50 civilians killed in Kyiv in just the last week alone by Russian missiles.
While this war continues, please help us get more air defense missiles. This is our top priority right now. We are capable of doing everything else ourselves. But when it comes to air defense, we need our partners' determination.
This is a war on NATO's doorstep. The threat of Russian aggression is real, and for some, the US has merely focused attentions.
It is true, it was catalyzed by US, but it's each country's commitment and each country's progress.
And whatever the reason, are you happy to see that increase in commitment?
We're happy to see that increase in commitment because that enables us to have a better deterrence and defense.
Not so long ago, NATO said that all members of the alliance should be prepared for Russia to launch attacks against NATO members by 2030. Is that a fear you live in the shadow of?
It is quite clear, and I think it's a common understanding among us, that we need to accelerate those plans. In our case, there are more than 40 cases where we've seen drone incursions into our airspace as a spillover effect from the war at the border.
While some are clambering for cash commitments and missiles, others are clawing for relevance. Leaders sitting down for dinner tonight just hope King Trump will deliver his blessing.
Paul McNamara, well, as you heard there, NATO allies are under pressure from President Zelenskyy as well as President Trump. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Harrach O'Brien, joins us now from Kyiv. Harrach.
Krish, Trump meets Zelenskyy tomorrow, and Zelenskyy will have to walk a tightrope here. We all know that Donald Trump loves a winner, and Zelenskyy will be trying to impress upon him the fact that Ukraine have an upper hand in this war, which they do. But Zelenskyy is also asking for stuff, and he has to do that in a way that doesn't make him and Ukraine look weak. What will he be asking for? As Paul alluded to in his report, he'll be asking for the missiles that Ukraine uses to take out those Russian ballistic missiles incoming to Ukraine, because he has run out of those interceptors, those missiles, those Patriot missile interceptors. How do we know that Ukraine has run out of them? Because of what happened here in Kyiv on Monday night, this huge barrage of missiles among that barrage of missiles, about 20 Russian ballistic missiles which got through. They weren't intercepted because Ukraine has run out of the interceptors. Tonight we wanted to bring you the story of one family, what that meant for one family in a neighborhood, Vishnev in Kyiv, which we visited this afternoon. A Russian missile hit an arms dump in that area. It sparked a wave of secondary explosions that destroyed or damaged homes in a network of streets equivalent in size to about 20 football pitches. And in one of those homes, 91-year-old Valentina Pavlivna, she was not able to get to a shelter or down the stairs to the basement of her house where she lives alone. Her home was destroyed and her son Alexander found her charred remains the following day. He spoke to us this afternoon.
І тут, як почалося, жінам там було чути і все. А я сусіда позвонив, кажу, будь ласка, глянь, я не можу глянути. Кажу. Я не можу навіть з погреба виглянути, каже, я тільки Армагеддон. Я кажу, треба бігти маму якось вивезти, навіть не думати. Загинеш і ти. Тут невозможно було. Такого не було.
The leaders of NATO are meeting today. If you were sitting around that table, what would you say to them about the war in Ukraine?
Хай приїжджають до нас і побачать. Хай би одну ніч цю пережили отут. Я побачив би, як би вони зреагували. Я думаю, що вони не приїхали. Тут ніяка каска, ніякий бронежилет навіть не поміг. Ні натовський, ні наш ніякий. Жалко.
Now that, of course, just one of thousands of stories of civilians who've lost their lives since the full-scale invasion began, and you would hope that those sorts of stories in some way inform the conversation with the suits at the summit.